Good morning, Neil Sedaka here. This morning I'd like to talk about the start of my singing career. I was the first American rock and roller to go to many foreign countries. Elvis did not travel overseas, and my managers were my publishers. Al Nevins and Don Kirshner published my songs, and they also managed my career. And not being a seasoned performer, they booked me as far away from America as possible because the records were selling, and they knew that if I got up and screwed up on the stage, that the record sales would stop. And I guess the thinking was correct, but it worked in my favor, let me tell you. I went to Brazil, I went to the Philippines, Japan, I went to Italy, and I was 19 years old. I had never taken singing lessons, so I sang from my vocal cords and not from my diaphragm, and I was scared stiff. The first trip, I was 19 years old. My father and I flew from New York to Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, for my first concert. And when we landed in the airport in Rio, it took about 20 hours to get there with a lot of stops before jet planes. We landed in Rio, and there were thousands of kids on the airstrip. And I turned around to my father. I said, I think there must be somebody very famous on this plane. I looked out the window, there were thousands of kids. Well, lo and behold, I got off the plane, and they were holding up signs, Salida Sedaka, welcome Neil Sedaka. Little did I know that Oh Carol was #1 in Brazil. And the police had to come with hoses, water hoses, to get the people to run away and calm themselves. Anyway, I was scared stiff. I had a concert the next day in a theater in Rio de Janeiro. The promoter had sold 10,000 tickets, and I came down with the worst case of laryngitis from fear. And he took me to a pharmacy. I'll never forget it. They gave me a needle this big, and I don't know what the hell was in it, but it brought back my voice miraculously. And the next day, I was able to squeeze through at the theater in Rio de Janeiro. And my repertoire consisted of 6 songs. I was 19 years old, 135 pounds, dark hair. So no matter where, what, when, the Brazilians were very excited because I was the first American rock and roller to go to Rio de Janeiro in 1958, I believe it was. And it was a great thrill. And on the Manchete magazine, which is the big one in Brazil, I made the cover, and it said, Sedaka destrona Elvis. Sedaka dethrones Elvis. I still save that magazine. Then we come to Japan. I went in 1959, again, the first American rock and roller, and the Japanese custom was not to applaud after each song, and I was not aware of that. So first time I got on the stage, after the first song, no applause. I said, oh my God, I'm a failure. Third song, no applause. Finally, at the end, they threw these streamers, which was a way of saying that they liked me. These paper streamers, they threw it from the audience, and it cut all of my fingers. I got paper cuts through all of my fingers, but it showed that they liked me. And it was, I used to open with a song called One-Way Ticket to the Blues, and I had to close with the same song in Japan, One-Way Ticket to the Blues, because it was #1 for about 6 months there. Very exciting. Then we come to the Philippines. Once again, I went 19 years old, the Araneta Coliseum, which held about 15,000 people. And the Filipinos are very musical. They love melodic music, and there I was a very, very big hit, even though I sang through my vocal cords and couldn't sing very well. But I was in good company. I think Streisand never took lessons. Sinatra never took maybe 1 or 2 lessons. So I'm more of a natural singer. And you can't become a seasoned performer really until you get your feet wet and you start performing more and more. Well, the funny one was Italy. I went to Italy to a place called Viareggio, and it was called La Bussola Club, a very famous club. And I was known in Italy as the voice that makes you dream, because I had a song called I Must Be Dreaming in Italian and English. And that night, I had a very bad case of laryngitis, and I went on the stage and was able to get through 20-25 minutes, and then I said, arrivederci, scusate, signori, signori, non posso cantare, and I walked off, and the promoter followed me backstage. He said, you get back on the stage. We're paying you to sing. I said, well, I can't even speak. I lost my voice. He said, Mina was here last night, the great Mina. She was the biggest singer in Italy, and she did 2 hours. You better get back on. I said, I'm afraid I cannot. And he said, well, the Italian public is going to throw pomodoro at you, tomatoes. So my wife Lieber and had to flee for our lives. We got in the car as the public was throwing tomatoes at us, at the car, closed all the windows, got out right in time. The next day, the newspaper said, well, Neil Sedaka is not the voice that makes you dream. He is the voice that gives you nightmares. Anyway, it took a while to become a seasoned performer and to be able to use my voice properly. I want to close with the Italian song, I Must Be Dreaming. Let's see. What memories. All my life I've been in love with you. Now you are here. I can't believe it's true. I must be dreaming when you say that you're in love with me. In my dreams, I kissed your lips of wine. Now all at once, I find you're really mine. I must be dreaming when you say that you're in love with me. The way that I feel is so heavenly, too good to be real. When you're next to me, I'm so afraid that I'm fast asleep, so don't wake me up. Let me dream if I'm dreaming. Oh, my love, each time I hold your hand, everything is just the way I planned. I must be dreaming when you say that you're in love with me. I must be dreaming when you say that you're in love with me. And if we have time, I'll play a little bit of the Japanese #1 song. Choo-choo train a-chugging down the track. Gotta travel on, never coming back. Oh, got a one-way ticket to the blues. Bye-bye, love, my baby's leaving me. Now lonely teardrops are all that I can see. Oh, got a one-way ticket to the blues. Take a trip to Lonesome Town. Gonna stay at Heartbreak Hotel. A fool such as I, there never was. I cried a tear so well. Choo-choo train a chugging down the track. Gotta travel on, never coming back. Oh, got a one-way ticket to the blues. Oh, got a one-way ticket to the blues. I had to open with that song and close with that song, otherwise I'd be lynched. Anyway, great memories, and I'm so glad that I was able to be the first American rock and roller to go to so many countries, and still today I get wonderful emails from all of them. Thank you out there. Love you. Be safe.